we go. Big night. Yeah.
I know that from other communities too, as a community is attacked, right? That's actually what a lot of times makes the community strong. How can the culture not exist when the very reason this thing is in existence is because of culture? Again, I think that's where I got from. But Shay, I saw your hand up, my brother. Did you still want to add to that?
Yeah, but So, I mean, basically, it's kind of like, I feel like, like when you talk about community, right? Like, this is a community, right? And so, how did Sample Size start? A bunch of guys was like, yo, I like this. I don't like what's going on in other cultures. So then they started their own thing, right? And now it's grown because of the love of the sneakers and the love of the culture. I think what turns people off and it starts, like people start saying like there's no community, there's no culture, is because of the one thing, man, it's the gatekeepers. So once the gatekeepers get involved and they start trying to determine what is the culture, so they try to force their narrative on you. Like somebody else said earlier about Jordan, like if you weren't Jordan, if you weren't in the sneaker culture and when Jordan the last shot, it's like you're not really a sneakerhead. So I think like once people start doing that, it alienates the people that truly love the sneaker, that love to talk about the materials and love the stories behind it. And then that's what makes a sneaker community go from 2,000 members down to 400 members, because now those other guys, they had such a terrible experience in that other community that they don't want to be
Cut the
part
shit,
of
Jordan.
a community no more.
Cut the shit.
They kind of go it on their own, man. And I think like, yeah, man, I just feel like the gatekeepers forcing their own narrative, forcing their own rules on what the culture is and what's a sneakerhead supposed to be. I think those are the biggest problems. But it's gonna always be a community. Like this is a community. If it's two guys talking about sneakers, it's gonna always be a community. It's gonna always be the culture gonna always be there because people gonna always love sneakers. But I think in my opinion, a community is I feel like a community shouldn't have rules. I feel like we should be able to come in here and talk about whatever we want to talk about just pertaining to sneakers if this is a sneaker community. Once we start paying $35 a month and got to sign up for a subscription and like all these posts, then now it's a business now. So it ain't a community no more. So that's just my 2 cents.
No, I think that's good. Listen, I appreciate that. So you got my mind kind of working now. My wheels are turning.
But why you turning? I got a question. Yeah. Where does the money aspect as of recently come into the degradation of the community where it just became a dollar? I do see 2 hands. I want to get to G Lee and Aaron, but I did want to ask, when does it become it's been degraded because of the money and people just looking at it as a dollar sign or just currency?
I mean, that's what it is, though, right? Ain't that what we did, man? We when you had the sneakers in the hood, like you was showing.
Hey Nate, you got to mute your computer.
Oh, my fault. I thought the show was coming.
Let me turn it down.
The inception is going on over there. You got it?
Okay. It's a stream within a stream. That's my fault.
No, you got
the stream session. Hey, look, but I mean, that's what it is, right? When we wore these sneakers, when you had the freshest white kicks, why? It's because he was showing that you had the money to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no beaters on because you got the money to buy a new pair of shoes. That's why you got them on, man. That's why your white on white stay white on white. That's why Kari got 1,700 pairs of these joints that he's moving out, and it's taking days to move all his white on white Air Force One. Hey, facts is my 4th language, all right? I speak English, Spanish, plug talk, and facts, all right? So facts is what I'm speaking right now. That boy got 1,700 white on whites, and he's trying to move.
Oh, wow.
It's taking days to do it. But it's the reason why, right? You're showing it off. Like, we have a whole lot of other stuff. We have 401ks, IRAs, we have all that. But when you had the sneakers, you knew who had the money. When you had the dope streetwear, you had the baked jackets, you knew who had the money.
We had the shoebox, baby.
That's what it was. That's what it's been about this whole time, man. You flaunting it. I mean, we can act like it's not, but that's what we've been doing, man. We've been flaunting sneakers this whole time, all of us.
That's true. So let me ask you this then. So on that note, when we talking money, my next question is, are the and I'm gonna try to be careful with this because I know Jake is a brand guy too, but do the brands have a responsibility? Like, where do the brands play a part in feeding into what this thing has now become? Right? You got demand creation now at Nike. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars creating quote unquote culture
Not Chapo.
and creating these stories and everything. Tapping, we have, your James Whitners out here. Jordan's talked about selling Black trauma, right? Like we talked about,
don't start him.
these things that have to do with culture now being perverted. Do the brands play a part in that? Are they part of the blame for how this thing happened?
I'm going to say it right now. Yes. Sorry, Shake. Yes.
I'm cool with that. I just wanted to spin back real quick to Legend what he said. When I was speaking of money, I wasn't speaking of money, for the shoes or for having, like the financial currency with the sneakers. I was speaking of paying money to be a part of a community. So that's what I was speaking to. I wasn't speaking to the part, to his point of the shoe. I was speaking to the point of, like paying to be a part of a community. And that's what turned people off from wanting to be in it.
No, I agree, Shake. I was talking about where it became like people don't even want the shoes anymore to wear them. I'm saying where they want the shoes just to go sell them because it's, I can take this thing that I know you want because this is your community or this is your culture. I can dangle it over your head and make a profit on it. That's kind of what I meant when I said like taken away from what we currently had, not those groups where you have to pay $33 a month to make friends. I didn't mean those.
My goodness.
Keeping it a buck though, Nike really is going to ruin the culture more than any brand out there because what they're doing right now is absolute bullshit. And
That's quite a statement.
I'm just going to keep it unfiltered and very real.
That's quite a statement.
Let's see what G Lee got because I know she got some fire. G Lee.
Aaron,
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead. Okay. I have a few points actually. I do believe that the perspective is based on your definition of culture, like Andy stated. I also think that the culture is a monolith, but that's what makes it so beautiful. Like, how can something evolve if it's not different and we come together because it's so diverse? Also, to answer your question, sneaker culture is not dead, and I feel like we're a representation of that. There are levels to sneaker culture. I think that we are on different levels, but I feel like it's not dead. In regards to Shake's point, he made a valid point about influencers, influencing us to purchase some certain products, right? But I feel like there have always been trends, but we influenced those trends in the 90s. And to answer Kari's question, brands are to blame, but we are too. Brands used to create products to appease the consumer. Now they make products to control us. So what they'll do is they'll make a product, give it to an influencer. The influencer will take pictures of and stuff like that. And then we want to be like the influencer. So I feel like, that's what's happening. Those are my points.
Ooh, okay, good point. You touched on some shit.
She's spitting.
Yeah, she had to
that nigga spitting.
I want to talk about influencers, but later. I want to get to the hands, but we need to stick a pin in that because influencers, that's a topic, and there's a lot of them in the room tonight. But you raised some points. We're gonna get on those. Who do we have?
Nicholas.
Nicholas,
Nicholas, what up, homie?
Yeah, what up? Actually, so she kind of touched on the point I was going to make, so if we're going to put a pin on that, I'll hold off till we start talking about influencers. I was going to go down that route. So somebody else can get up.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to go to Chef and then to Monique, and then we're going to run back around to that point. Chef, what's up?
Yeah, I think with this conversation, we're conflating community and culture. Now, the community, yes, the community is not a monolith. The community is a spectrum of different people under that umbrella. But the culture is a monolith. Because if you pulled up the definition of Merriam-Webster, and for culture, it says a particular society that has its own beliefs, ways of life, art, etc. Culture is a established set of standards that every community along the spectrum all agrees upon and respects. And what we've done is we've allowed people outside of our culture to come in and run amok. We didn't check them when they started doing things that we didn't agree upon. And now those who don't believe in that culture and those values that we used to uphold in this community, they outnumber us. Because back in the day, well, I don't know about other states, but down here in Texas, there was just certain shoes that resellers didn't even bother trying to resell you. They just left them in the stores. But you got 2J's over here stunting on Instagram how he's got 1,000 pairs of white on white Air Force Ones. Like, when did that happen? That's a staple shoe in our community, in our culture, that everybody had readily available to them. And now we got dudes reselling them to us. Like at what point do we set a standard?
I mean, if I'm gonna keep
allowed
it a buck,
and not allowed.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If dumbass is gonna pay me $120 for a pair of $70, $80 shoes, I'm gonna sell the shit out of them too. Like we're not gonna hate on somebody because he's taking advantage of somebody being dumb. Like let's be honest here.
Yeah, and that was my point. Like, it's only worth what people will pay for it, and I think that's the problem that we run into. And I think Chef actually made a point about this earlier, that if I won't pay for a shoe, there are 10 other people behind me that will. And it's just like, well, those 10 people need to realize they're the reason why we're having to pay these higher prices for the shoes, and that's what's driving a wedge, for lack of a better term, in this culture. Because you have, like Shake said, you have gatekeepers who go, "That's stupid. Why are you paying $1,000 for a shoe that costs $120?" And it probably costs $20 to make. And then you have the other side going, because I got to get these likes off. So there's a fine line between the reason why these prices are what they are and the fact that people are paying them.
But okay, because we talk about people like DJ. Do we hold him in a higher light? Do we praise him for being somebody that got it out of the mud as an entrepreneur? Or do we drag him down for being somebody that is one of the, if not one of the absolute biggest resellers in the game? Like, is he a cancer to sneakers, or is he, because he's a lot of these kids' role model out here. You know what I mean?
But see who's the role model he is. It's kids who can't tell you which Jordans Michael Jordan won his championships in, but he can tell you the price of the sneaker that you're wearing on StockX.
But that doesn't make you a sneakerhead. You don't have to know the origin of Michael Jordan's history to love sneakers.
I'm not saying that makes you a sneaker. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've allowed people that don't care about what sneakers actually mean to this community, and all they care about is the dollar value behind it. Yes, we all know that sneakers have a dollar value behind it, but that's not the driving factor for why we got into collecting sneakers. We have a new generation of kids that the reason they got into sneakers is because of the dollar value that's behind it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, I mean, and that's fair, right? And if you're a brand, you got to cater to all of that, because here's the deal, right? We're not spending the money that these kids are spending. These kids are the ones with the bots, right? These kids are the ones that are blowing 10 grand a clip, buying out entire size runs, buying out entire stores, trying to flip this shit as sticker guns. We're not buying that. We old as fuck now. We grown. We got kids and mortgages and budgets. These kids ain't got no damn budget. So if you're Nike, who matters more at this point? Fuck a culture. If I'm Nike, who matters more? The money, right?
Like what?
But that's why that person that posted that tweet in Soul Food talking about we should boycott Jordan Brand and Adidas for about 3 months to see what happens. What's going to happen is it's going to hurt us. Because like I said, if we aren't going to buy, resell, there's not enough people behind us with disposable income that's going to be willing to
I mean, they're going to buy it, but
basically resellers in the retail to a certain demographic of people that's in the sneaker community. So they don't care. They just don't. So what's going to happen is they're going to price out
me.
Those of us
they're going to price out me because I'm not paying.
But can't really go $400 or $500 on a shoe that originally retailed for $170 or $200 that was made for like $25, $30. So it's just, it's nothing we can do, because all these brands care about is selling out their product. They don't care if it takes 30 individual people buying one shoe or one person buying 30 pairs. It's the same to them.
Touche. All right.
Monique's had her hand up for a while.
Yeah, you read my mind. Yeah, Monique. Yeah, well, let's go to Monique. Let's go over to Bianca, Shake, and then Bongalong Jones. Monique.
So I hope that everybody can hear me okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. This is the first time I'm actually saying words in a space, so I want to make sure that they're actually coming across.
Good, sis.
So, all right. I'm old, and I've loved sneakers forever, but I didn't have a local community. I was had my childhood mostly in Hawaii, and then I lived in central New York after that. There's not a whole lot of sneakerheads out here. So I didn't get to participate in the culture, the whole streetwear culture, and sneakers in that really personal way. So I appreciate having the discussion about community, because to me, yes, this is the community, participating in the space, listening in, engaging with some of you via Twitter, stuff like that. That feels community to me. Now, I will say that because I did not have a community and I didn't always feel comfortable talking about sneakers as a person with a budget and all that other stuff, I did buy my friends for $33 a month.
Oh, shit.
For a little while. I did actually, I just let my membership lapse this month. So it was, I don't know, 5 or 6 months or something that I was in that community. And it did help me to kind of feel a little bit more confident and more comfortable sort of branching out and finding other people. This was the last year, the year that I was I want to talk about sneakers. I've loved them for so long. I really want to engage in these conversations. So it was a good jumping off point. I am not going to say that it was worth the money. If anybody is wondering.
Boy.
I did win a raffle, one of the raffles, and that was really great. It introduced me to a sneaker that I had no intention of ever having in my collection at all, and I do like it, so that was really fantastic. But I think that because community like this exists, where it's very open, the Twitter and stuff like that, there is more opportunity to just jump into the conversation. To Shake's point, the alienating folks, I think that is 100% gatekeeping. You can not like a shoe or whatever, but when you start saying, oh, especially for women, there's a lot of, she thinks she's a real sneakerhead, but then she owns mids, and I'm like, okay. That does really ostracize folks, and that makes them feel like they're not welcomed or wanted in the community. And I see less of that now, maybe, than I did, I don't know, 5 years ago, slightly less. But then also, I get to choose who I follow and pay attention to. So maybe I've just put myself in a bubble. So yes, I do think that this is a community, and I think that it's at risk of being lost the more we gatekeep and monetize community and information and content. So
love how you said that. Look, can I ask you a question? Yeah, y'all know what question I'm about to ask her. So, if you don't mind, what made you leave that paid community? We won't name them by name.
I will.
I was going to say,
there were a few different things. One, I appreciated having the sort of separation of the women's and men's community. But it felt
I'm not reading the chat no more, yo.
Not getting the same information. And it still didn't feel like a very, if it was just a woman-only space, which one, I don't think those things should exist like that.
Amen.
I think that if safe spaces or whatever are to exist, then they need to be inclusive, and they're not always.
Yes.
So that separation didn't feel right. And then on top of that, I can put that money towards sneakers, and I stopped feeling afraid, I suppose, of participating in the community. And so I did that, and realizing that the community at large is far better than the circle bit of community over there. this became my preference.
Frog
Was
legs.
having everybody,
What?
on Twitter, being able to follow Instagrams and have conversations and listen to conversations like this. This was just a better option. So that's why I left.
That's dope. No, and I'm so glad that you even mentioned what you just said, because I know Key has been a voice for that. There's a lot of women that have been a voice for being inclusive, right? Like the answer to making sure that women have a safe space is not to put women in a room by themselves and still let men act like trash, but just let them act like trash not around women. That's not how you do it, right? Like, you can still let everybody be in the same space, and then you just need to moderate that space correctly and get the toxicity out of that shit. Right. So I love how you said that. And y'all give her a follow. Y'all give her Monique a follow as well, and welcome her in to the fold.
And Monique, if you don't have nothing to do on Monday, sorry to cut you off. We do have ladies' night here at Sample Size. It's on the 3rd.
I'll be listening in.
Okay, good. It's very inclusive. And that's what we like to hear. So I just want to throw that in there. Self promo.
Yes, come through, please.
Come through for real. No, we appreciate that, Monique.
Bianca, is Bianca's up next, and then Shake, and then we're gonna start moving some of these mics around.
Hey everybody, Happy New Year. My 2 cents, a couple of things. I agree with some of what Monique says. I do believe that I see more of the separation more now than ever. I do see, like, when someone talks about mids, I don't know why mids is such a thing. It just shouldn't be a thing. It's just another kick. It's the same thing. It's just a little lower and a little higher. That's it. I feel like people put too much on that. The second thing, to Geely's point, I do believe that it's both the buyer and the reseller's problem. It becomes a very blurry line. I think that, or responsibility rather. I think it's a very blurry line. If there are people who are willing to buy a $500 shoe, I mean, who's to say that they can't? At the same time, that does kind of fuck up the ecosystem a little bit. But I mean, I had posted something earlier. I don't remember what, I think it was Kari, you had asked a question, and my response was about it was about culture. I'm sorry, community. It was about community. And I had responded like, it's your participation that determines where you are at in that community. So, I mean, if you're participating and you're just doing nothing but reseller, or you're buying shoes just to resell, then that's your part in the quote unquote culture. The culture is the umbrella, the community is with under that. I believe Nate was saying something along those points. I don't see him here. Oh yeah, I see you, Nate. So yeah, again, just because you don't know Jordan history, because there are a lot of younger kids, doesn't necessarily not make you a sneakerhead, but it does show why or where you are at on purchasing sneakers. I mean, yeah, you can have the love for sneakers, but why you love it is, I think, is important.
Yeah, I like that. No, I like it when you put that. What's your why? Right? I mean, that's what I try to do. You know, I try to give people a why, you know, before they buy a shoe and throw it off the StockX. Like, why do these things even matter? And I think that's an individual thing at the end of the day. There are some people, to your point, they just like the hype. It's like the resale. There's other people that love the history, you know, but it does seem like the scale is getting lopsided a bit, you know, especially with Gen Z on the come up. But I really appreciate you saying that. That's a good point. Shake, what's going on?
Oh, I had took my hand down, man. I just want to make sure everybody else get a chance to speak, so I'll circle back.
Yes, sir. No problem at all, man. Legend, I think who we got? Chef and then Joey.
Hey, Joey had his hand up first before me. Go ahead and say
okay. Yes, sir. What's up, man?
What's good, Sample Size? Just listening to it, it is that why. She hit on it directly. The why for most of us was seeing people that were successful have those things growing up, be it the D-boy, be it whoever athlete it was that was rocking a pair of sneakers that you just fell in love with. And then now, it seems as though what's happened is the people that realize that love could be monetized, and them they want to obtain sneakers to obtain that status because they're going to sell them, and that's how they're going to get there. That's their hustle. That's what they want. And I think that thought, that mentality basically went like Kari was saying, tip the scales. And now we're at a bunch of people that just think they can make money off of sneakers, and that's all they want. They don't care. Like I've seen kids that are huge resellers picking up things in like busted ass vans. You know, like they don't care about on foot. They're not caring about that man in velour suit that you saw with dripped out in diamonds in like the 80s. Like, I want to be like that. They don't want to be like that doing that. They want to be successful by selling something to someone. It's become a consumer product more than anything, and it's sold the culture. So I think one of the biggest problems is those culture vultures. I'm sorry, I'm out of it.
No. So culture vultures, right? That is what a lot of people call influencers, which is why I still want to get on that, because that actually kind of hit me in the chest as someone that is quote unquote seen in that light. So I still want to jump on that, but I want to get to the hands as well. So Justin, what's going on, man?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's actually my first time talking on here, so I was just making sure. I wanted to touch real quick on the community as far as the small town community. I live in a really small town in the mountains of North Carolina, and I'm finding here the community is definitely growing, but I think it's growing primarily because of money. It's turning people into. It's more loving the money aspect of it versus the sneaker itself, and it just. I don't know if it's coming out right as far as how I'm saying it, but I feel like the community's growth is based purely on the dollar, not on the love of the shoe. But I don't know if that's different for small towns or big towns, if it's the same or different.
I mean, I live in a relatively small town that's growing. So I live in Alabama, and if y'all know about Huntsville is a very small town.
Oh yeah.
We only got one of pretty much everything here, and I'm gonna tell you. So the sneaker quote unquote culture here is very much driven off money and reselling as well. So I mean, we have two consignment shops that just opened up within about a mile of one another, and obviously those only popped up purely because of money. So yeah, the growth that I'm seeing is the same thing. I think you're seeing that kind of nationwide, honestly. You're seeing yeah, for sure. No, I definitely agree with that. Does anybody else want to chime in? Like, if you're in a bigger city, like
I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Chesapeake area, all that 757. Listen, I've gotten to the point now where I don't even try for shoes because I know that the managers at a lot of these stores, as I'll say, are planning their retirement based off these resellers, because it does not matter to them where the shoe goes. They want it out of their store so they can get more merchandise, and that's the bottom line. And I can't say that I fault them. The game is to sell the shoe. So if somebody walks in and says, "Hey, I'll buy 10 of those pair and I'll buy 10 of the pair that are sitting that nobody wants for whatever," you almost can't fault them. But that's kind of where it is. It's about the dollar, and that's why I brought that up earlier. Is it really about getting the sneakers in the hands of people who want them? And Kari, you know my struggle. Wearing a size 9, it is difficult to get size 9s because we are, like the name of the group, sample size. So it's hard to get anything in a size 9 because that's the size they can make money on.
Well said, brother. Well said.
This is Lisa. I wear a size 5, and I don't know why my shit is way more expensive than a size 9. I don't appreciate it. That's my 2 cents.
Why is that?
Well, it used to be. Now
everybody knows that there's going to be a limited amount of them.
Yep.
And you're going to be able to make the most money because women want to look good too. Women love a dunk, so you know what? That $80 dunk.
I mean, I love it.
I can hold on to in a size 5. I make $300 off of on every single sale. That's what's fucking things up, is that people are just buying to resell. That's the only thing they're doing. Like, it's not even like it's a lot of these resellers that are out there are doing it just for money. I live in Fort Lauderdale, in that area, and if you go out in Weston, which is like a affluent neighborhood, all these kids are the ones taking all the stock because their parents have money. They go and they buy it. They know which sizes to get, like a size 5 that's never going to be in stock in big numbers anyway, and they're going to get them off for whatever money they can get.
I think
And every once in a while, I'll buy a pair of sneakers, like for them, for foot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think Shake had a rebuttal for that one, and then I think
You know, Legend, like you hit the nail on the head, man. I think if the brands started to police the JD Sports, the Foot Lockers, and things of that nature, a lot of the reselling would stop. I mean, let me back up. Not stop. It would slow it down, and it would give the end consumer a better chance to get his hands on the sneakers. Like, you wear a size 9, bro. Like that is like 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11. Those are the most scale sizes. So you have, a tremendous odds to get your shoe. You know what I'm saying? And then the young lady that was speaking of a size 5, I mean, they, that's base size. So, the men gonna go get the 5 for their girl, so they gonna pay the extra. So that's probably why it's a struggle, with the size 5. But at the end of the day, man, I said this before, like, it doesn't matter. It's never going to be enough shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they make whatever, the Pine Jordan, whatever that was, they make that shoe. If they made 1 million pairs, that's not even enough for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So it's never going to be enough. Like, the resale game has, like, kind of taken over sneaker culture. Like, money is different now. You got all these, these secondary ways to buy shoes. You got Afterpay, you got Affirms, you got all these different, they even accepting that on Gucci now. You can buy Gucci on a payment plan. So it's just yes, man, it's so many different ways that you can purchase the sneakers now. And then you got and then lastly, because I don't want to talk y'all ear off, but lastly, these brands, they have shareholders that they got to answer to. And so they got quotas and numbers that they gotta hit. And I tell y'all a ill story, right? So we was in Cali, we was in the office. Kanye was in office. Adidas, let me back up. Dick's Sporting Goods, right, was never supposed to get Yeezy. It was never supposed to get to that level. So, Dick's Sporting Goods, they take everything. They take the D-Rups and all these other shoes that never sell. So Dick's Sporting Goods had a return. They call it an RA. They had a return. It was like 24, 30 million. So they said, okay, we want to return these shoes to Adidas. Adidas like, nah. They try to spin them off, make them put them on sale, whatever. Dick's like, nah, listen, we want to return these shoes unless y'all give us Yeezy. So long story short, the return was like 24, 30 million, something crazy. They wanted Yeezy. So then Adidas made the lateral decision to give Dick's Yeezys. So, and when Kanye found out, like, I was standing right there in the corner listening, when he found out that was happening, he cussed everybody out, said, everybody that worked for Adidas, get the fuck out of my office. And I'm saying that to say that, like I said, they got to answer to them shareholders, man. They have to hit those numbers. They got to hit those numbers. So they have to pump out these shoes. They have to, like, you're looking at James Whitner got, 10 stores? Like, Foot Locker got 5,000. Like, so they got to, kiss their butt to a certain degree. So, like I said, man, it's very unfortunate the direction that, that everything is going. And like I said, money is different now. You got these young kids thinking it's cool to play in the stock market. They don't be knowing what's going on, but they think it's cool to say they own Bitcoin and all this stuff. And now they playing around in the shoe, in the shoe game. Like I said, you got all these secondary ways to get these shoes. So, I mean, I hate to say this. I know you ain't gonna like it, but I don't see it getting no better because, like I said, the brands, it's money to them. So they don't care. So we the only ones that care. And, we're not going to, like, if it's 300 people in this room. So if 299 say, man, we not buying no shoes for 6 months, that one person, then he going to buy all the shoes and then he going to become the reseller. Mm-hmm. So it's tough, man. It's a slippery slope, man. But, Happy New Year and I love all y'all. Peace.
That's love, Shay. Hey, first of all, Shay, we're gonna act like you ain't just dropped the bomb in here.
Facts.
I'm
dropping Kanye's name, talking about he was right next to me.
That was just something I just want to share with y'all so y'all understand, man, that what I'm saying, like, it's a money game. You know what I'm saying? It's a money game, and they don't care, man. We care. They don't care.
Well, look, listen. If it's a money game, I'm gonna say it like this: I want to spend all my money at Clicks and Sneaks. That's all I want. The fastest shipping this side of the Mississippi. Yeah, but no.
Plug the business, right?
Just-
plug the business. Shout the clicks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, real talk. Like, I appreciate that insight. And you're right. You would think that having a size 9 where there's an abundance of pairs would make it quote unquote easier. But I think that knowing that number is always going to be one of those higher numbers, and like you said, base size. That's always going to be crazy. Those higher numbers just make it difficult. And then that's where people, in my opinion, because I think during the pandemic, I was like, man, screw all this. I'm over the sneaker game because I'm over fighting companies to give them my hard-earned money. And that's where I get frustrated.
That's real. That's very real. And then, you also have other areas of the world that also want our size as well, right? Asian culture tends to size down on sneakers. So now, this is an international game now, thanks to StockX and Go and eBay, all these other places, right? So now that we're playing the international game and resellers are playing the international game, like, it makes it even tougher because the demand for our size, my brother, is very, very real overseas. So that's another piece of it as well. Man, we got mics going up all over the place. So
you have
Legend, Jordan, y'all know where we are, Mike?
So you have Nearly, and then you have Chef, and then you have Nuck. Oh, and I forgot. I'm sorry. You have Nearly, then you have G-Lee, then you have Chef, then you have Nuck, and then you have Nate to drop those gems.
Oh boy. So that's Nita. So Nita, we gonna let Nita have the floor now. Nita,
Now wait, Nita is lit. So Nita,
All right, here we go.
All right, I just wanted to revisit the whole reselling thing. I live in Philly, so that's like a top 10 with population city, and I don't know if you guys all have DTLRs. I've literally seen people backdoor raffles, quote unquote raffles, out the fucking door to resellers, getting the money at the counter for the sneakers.
At the counter, like in front of everybody?
Yeah, when you pay for your sneakers, they were putting hundreds on the counter. I've seen it with my own eyes. And that made them change their whole raffle system. So with DTLR, they used to do you would go to the store and it was like you sign up, but it's like you're in a line. So if you get there first, you have a guaranteed pair for your size. They weren't doing it with tickets. Now, they found out that they were backdooring the stuff. Now you have to actually do a raffle.
Wow, that's wild. So that's also part of it, right? And so we talk about the different areas and different facets of culture and community and how this thing has kind of been poisoned. Now, again, this all comes back to what? Money, right? Even what you're talking about comes back to the money aspect of this thing and how, money has just kind of taken over the game so much. You know what I mean? So let me ask you this, Nita. Are there any places that you feel like are real, they're very genuine? We don't have a DTLR down here, right? So I don't know how they rock. Are there any spots that you feel like are doing really fair raffles, really doing it the right way out there in Philly?
Yeah, so there's a local shop called Last on the Hammer. They do online raffles as well sometimes. So if you follow Sneakers Twitter, you'll see them pop up sometimes. But they do a online sign up, but you have to go in locally. And the owner is amazing. He stands outside with you in the line. Sometimes they do first come, first serve and a raffle. So they'll allot pairs on the side for people who get in line, and then they do a digital raffle as well. So my part, Snipes to me is just bullshit. Sorry.
Talk about
DTLR is bullshit. Foot Locker is atrocious. That app is fucking insane. And the Foot Action, we don't really have Foot Actions here. We have maybe 2, but they're in the mall. But I just think all these raffles, the raffle system is just so trash, especially Atmos.
Wait.
Let's talk about backdoor. We have video of them backdoor with Atmos.
Now. Boy. Atmos, oh boy. All right, let me go mute. Go ahead.
Listen, I've seen video
Are they in here today?
People taking boxes of sneakers out of this place in Philly. I don't know if it's the same in DC. I don't, I only speak on what I know. That backdoor. Like it's the people who work at these stores are also making tons and tons of money off of them. It's not just resellers, and I guess they would be resellers, but like they're working for the actual company.
Wow, my goodness. Okay, so no, we're not. Yeah, Atmos isn't in the. Listen, understood, right? And so Atmos isn't in the building. Just to give y'all some information. So I'm speaking with Atmos about bringing them on to Sample Size, the official Atmos account, because I want to discuss Atmos Collectors Club and the impact of that.
And I think that's really dope. I think the Collectors Club is really dope. But what they do in person at the physical stores is trash. Like they'll let people who they know, like the employees know, get to the front of the line. I've had to literally fight with grown-ass men to not get in front of me because I don't play that shit. You're not going to get in front of me. I don't care who you know. That's it.
The niggas lost that fight too. You heard it in their voice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, especially if you off the coquito. Yeah, it's over.
Oh, I'm like this all the time.
Wait, hold on.
I'm like this all the time.
Where did Kari get an accent from?
Hey man, listen. All right, I've been all over the place.
As soon as Nita came on stage, he sounded like a damn teacher.
Spanish teacher. You got it. That's the way you gotta say it. It's you know what? We're not even gonna go.
But Kari, before you go any further, I do want you to know that in the chat you have your name. We did get excited when they were talking about Gucci and all of that. Your new name is Gucci Fetish because when they were talking about Afterpay, you got kind of excited. So Gucci Fetish is the new name.
Wow. First of all, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna ask. Look, the OG told me you can afterpay some Gucci. Fuck that. Listen, I'm gonna Klarna some damn Gucci. Y'all gonna see me.
Why is there a stigma with Afterpay?
First of all, there's not.
People are corny, and if anybody will find a reason to make you feel bad about something in your life.
Hey, Nita, when I find out that something is over $30, and I'm telling on myself, that's the number you have to hit to use Afterpay. It's $30. I know that because I do it all the time. Okay, that's first and foremost. Secondly, you can also Afterpay and Klarna airline tickets. I just want to throw that out there. I know that's off topic, but I just want to throw that out there.
So you sure can.
Is it the actual Afterpay brand that you can use on the like?
I'll just tell you that. You said what, Nate?
Nate, he don't know what he just said.
Okay, Nate. Okay, wait. I said that $30 is the brokest shit I ever heard, but that's what I said.
Hey, listen, I've been called worse this week. Is all I'm saying.
Touche. Nita was asking something about the
real brokey behavior. Where's Jaleesa with the big L?
Oh shit.
Yo, Jaleesa would have called you a brokey hardcore right
there. Jaleesa down there, she listening.
Why are y'all like this? Nita, wait. Okay, we're gonna go to Nita, and then we're gonna get to the hands. Nita, what's that?
The question was, is it like the Afterpay brand with the airlines? Because I've been just trying to travel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is. 4 payments. Break it up. We'll talk, Nita. We'll talk later because it sure is.
Turn this into a deal. Stop talking about it.
Why are you
find out how you can do this?
I'll put the tweet out there. Listen, I'll put it out there. We're gonna try to do something. So let's get back to the hand.
All right,
let's get back to the conversation. We're digressing.
All right. So Chef. No, it's G Lee, then it's Chef, then it's Serial, then it's Chris, then it's EG, and then it's Dominic. In that order, if we can try to keep it going. Chef,
okay.
Chef, you have to G Lee.
I have 2 comments and I have a question. So my first comment is the sizes not being available has a lot to do with them loading the stock numbers online on different platforms. So like I'm guilty of this. If I see a size near my size that is supposed to be high in stock, I will definitely jump over, grab that on because the stock size is available. Okay, so that's one of my points. My second point is the young lady that just spoke, she made a valid point. I witnessed it myself at the mall. We're standing waiting outside the Champs. They trying to get the Cougars, trying to get some dunks. And the lady walks around the back of, I guess, the employee hallway, comes out the front of the store in front of us with 2 bags. And I mean, it gets to the point where they're bold. They are bold. Like, they don't even care. But anyways, we'll talk about Raffles another time. My question is in regards to Hibbett Sports and City Gear. They sell culture-related gear, right?
Yeah.
But do you really think that the manufacturers care about the culture?
Of the manufacturers or the stores?
I mean, in all. I mean, manufacturers. Okay.
Black Lives Matter or Black voices outside of Target has not mattered for the past, I don't know, maybe year since George Floyd's case has been ended. They don't really care. No offense, Shake. Prove me wrong, but
Not taking my brother. I just wanted to throw something because she said a name that I'm very familiar with. Somebody need to do their research and find out who owned Hibbets.
Got quiet here all of a sudden. So but you got to look at who owns the company, right? And so that's the that's the quote unquote culture. And I'm just gonna be real with you, Shay. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a straight laced white guy that looks like he hangs out with Donald Trump.
There it is. There you go. Triple K.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say triple K? Okay. Oh shit.
You see, y'all got Chef Shank in here tonight. He's in rare form because he's got his wagyu at the house that he's making tonight. Y'all got this man in rare form tonight. If you know, you know. All right. But so to G Lee, right? No, like it really definitely is a money grab. And I hate kind of saying that because I got friends that work for the company. A friend of mine is a regional VP for Hibbets. She's a black woman. She's coming up in her career, but we got to keep it a buck, right? The ownership of the company is what they are, and they sell shit that nobody else will sell because you also have to look at the demographic of your Hibbets and your City Gears. Where are they placing these stores? They're placing them in the fucking ghetto. They're putting them in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Their City Gears and Hibbets are popping up next to check cashing joints every day. They know who to market this stuff to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. It's appropriating the culture. It is what it is. Legend, who we got next?
My bad. I was reading the chat. So right now we are on. It's Chef's turn now.
Yes,
sir. Who's on your mind, man?
I apologize if it sounds like I'm still eating. I'm at my parents' house. My pop, they fried frog legs and they hit. It hit like something.
I'm sorry. You're so southern. Did you say fried frog legs?
Card, what? Don't start him, Card.
Just onion, garlic, a little bit of hot sauce. Boy, they go a long way.
Hey, hold on, Chef. Before you go, Juan, I know you're listening. I need that shirt. That's all I'm gonna say. Juan is in the chat right now. I need the shirt.
Juan starts.
First of all, Juan Wilson Sneaker Fetish X sample size Gucci Fetish shirt on the way. Y'all heard it first.
You better give me my caveat because I think that started with me. Anyway, Chef, go ahead, bro.
There he goes. But to be honest, I know our little mantra in here is blame Nike, but at this point, I'm kind of over blaming brands now. Brands are going to do what brands going to do, but it's us as the sneaker community. Every aspect of the sneaker community, it's up to us to police ourselves and to establish what we will allow to go down and what we're not going to allow to go down.
Bro, it don't matter what we allow and what we don't allow. I'm sorry. They're gonna do what they do. Nah, bro, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like, let's just keep it funky. If you're gonna blame a brand, keep the same argument that you had when you made this statement in the group chat. Because Nike is the reason why it is the way it is because of the way they hype up the sneaker. But we can't just say we're not gonna allow it and think people aren't gonna go and buy the shoe. Yeah, bro, he's staring at me right now. We're not gonna go and buy the shoe. Like, let's just keep it a buck. It is what it is at this point. We have a culture. We're not gonna say we don't have a culture. Is it infiltrated by BS? 100%. It absolutely is.
Well, for Jordan's light-skinned emotions interrupted me to get to my point.
Wow. Okay, Chef. The floor is yours, my brother.
Thank you.
Wow.
Legend, I'm gonna need your finger on the trigger to mute Jordan next time he interrupts.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Thank you. But no, like, for those of you who don't know, Kari on major releases, he'll post a thread for retokes. And it was this one person. He deleted the tweet because I couldn't find it because I went back and looked. And he made me so upset with what he posted. I literally have his tweet memorized. So it was for the patent leather bread ones.
Oh shit.
Kari, in all caps, said retail oops suggested strongly. Which for most resellers, they kind of stay away from those because they understand people under that thread is looking for a retail. This dude goes in there, posts 3 sizes. He posted a size 9. No, he posted a size 13 for $500. A size 7 for $350. And this was the worst one. He posted a size 2Y for $275. My daughter is in kindergarten, getting ready to go to first grade next year. She's in a 2Y. So we busting these little babies over the heads for $1. That's what we doing now. That's what I'm getting. That's where I have an issue at. You want to tax me or my wife? That's cool. We grown. We make our own money. That's fine. But because I want to introduce my daughter into a hobby that I'm passionate about, trying to create a connection point between me and my children, you're going to take advantage of that? Like, no, I'm not cool with it. And with every culture, there's elders that go forth and take charge and establish what we're going to allow, what we're not going to allow in our culture. And within the sneaker culture, we've lost that. We don't have that. We don't have those held up in high regard in the community saying, hey, yo, you want to beat adults over the head? Fine, do that. But little kids, nah, don't tax these parents because it's bad enough you're taxing them for their shoes. Stay away from kids. But it's got ridiculous.
Jay, aren't you a reseller though?
Yeah.
Bang!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nicole is in the building. No. I like that she brought it up. I talked about this when I exposed myself to being a reseller. What did I say? When it comes to kids, I don't tax. I'll get the parents their shoes for the kids. I give them retail plus tax. Now, if it's the parents, yeah, I'll give my little over the top. But for their kids, I don't tax over them.
Here's why this doesn't really hold any weight. And I'm going to say this as a parent, right? My kids don't got no damn job. They not working. They not buying these shoes. I am. So I know what that risk is and I know what I'm putting out. So it's weird to kind of give that guilt trip because all in all, y'all doing the same shit and y'all wrong no matter how you put it. But if it makes you feel better to say, well, I'm not taxing a baby shoe, then I mean, okay, but you kind of got to call a spade and, you know.
My only question to that, Chef, and I'm not, of course, you know, I'm not attacking you. When you say the kids, is there a certain age limit that goes to? Because I know for a fact, Jerlisa's son wears a 10, if I'm correct.
Yeah, men's size.
So
he wears an 11 now.
11 now.
He wears a men's size
So
11.
so if he's still a child, he's a man child with the, you know, he's a large, person.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the size to me. It's all about the age. If that kid is still in high school, even if they drop under the age of 18,
okay,
cool. It don't matter to me.
Okay.
It's not about the size. It's about the age.
How many of your customers are coming to you and saying, "Hi, I'm buying this for my 11-year-old that wears a size 11 in men's," and how many times are you going to believe that from how many like, you get what I'm saying? I mean, like, I get what you're getting at, but I want you to hear how from everybody that's not you, that sounds like a crock of BS.
I understand it, but I mean, as a person, I'm not the FBI. I'm not gonna do a background check on everybody. I'm just taking you at your word. So if you're gonna fool me and lie to me, okay, that just is what it is. I mean, that's I'm just being honest.
Okay. So it's I think it's Serial. Chris had her hand up, but she put her hand down. So Serial, Chris, then EG.
How y'all doing, everybody? I'm just trying. I want to refer back to what she was speaking on. What could be done about how the shoes are being taken advantage of at the retail aspect of it. I was a long-time employee of Foot Locker. I worked there all through high school. I did make it up to management for a little bit, and I watched managers and district managers all the way at that level. The shoes were gone before they got loaded to the raffle site. I was there when the raffle got implemented. The managers, I don't know if they still do, but as of 2017, managers were still the ones that picked those sizes. You literally go through and handpick the names. It's not a machine or anything like that. So even to this day, they can just give them to the local retailer. But I was just speaking on the fact that I've seen it. I didn't get my pair because of that issue. Like, the shoes were gone, boxes empty. Shoes are gone. I'm watching them hand them to them, and they walking out the door. So on that aspect, unless we can probably create a marketplace that's governed by people like ourselves, and we keep the price below a minimum, and we try to do that, there's really nothing we can do.
Stay tuned. I'm cooking. I'm working on something right now, so stay tuned on that.
It's Bree. I'm sorry, Bree. She been cussing me out in this chat because yeah, my bad. Just
Breezy.
So, to go back to the whole Hibbett situation, yeah, that's crazy as far as how they've done shoes. Once they've got with City Gear, it even got worse. I've seen previous working there, I've literally seen people be like, okay, so we only got X amount of shoes because they were late getting us the shoes. So shoes drop on Friday, let's just say. Shoes show up Saturday morning. Well, the raffle's ended. There's no way for you to enter them and say, hey, now whoever signed up, you get these shoes. No, the raffle's over. There's no going back on it. At least a year ago, that was the situation. There was no going back and saying, okay, let's re-raffle and send them out. So once those shoes show up, whoever is there, that's who's going to get that shoe. So literally, if you have 5 people at the store, it's, hey, anybody in here need any sizes in here? Yeah, hold up. Actually, I do need a size. I need my size. My cousin gonna pay me. My homeboy, dope boy across the road, he said that he needs this size, so I'm gonna get this. He gonna break me off 50 right here. By the time everybody in the store goes through I'll say 12 to 24 pair of shoes, you only have maybe 5 to 10 pair of shoes to sell. But even then, now the person who just walks in, he has no limit to what he can or can't buy. So there's no shoes left to sell. That's happened all the time. Now, before City Gear was with Hibbett's, I've literally heard stories of the City Gear down the street gets their shoes in on a shipment on a Monday. Tuesday afternoon, the store manager got his homeboy pulled up to the side of the building because he's lucky enough on his strip mall where he's on the side. He calls him over there. He literally loads him in the trunk, and he has cops that he's paying to make sure nobody runs up on them and rob them in the midst of this. So, like, the whole raffle prior to now really didn't matter. They now have a system where we know how many we shipped to you, so how many actually made it. And if you put in numbers that don't match, they're calling you, they're emailing you like, hey, all your shoes not in here. We got to get these things raffled out. So when we would be like, oh, well, I don't even have my shoe. You're mad at me about a raffle that I have no control over. Nobody believes that narrative. Versus Hibbett World, that was actually true. How they do it now, I'm not sure. But it actually worked that way. So when people say, oh, well, y'all are just backdooring, whatever, prior to their more recent raffle system, that was definitely the case. They did that probably 95% of the time. But as for now, I don't think so. But the way they set it up, if you have more than one phone, you get through that with no problem. It's the easiest thing in the world. And that's what most people are doing. So I literally, now if I ever had to go to a Hibbett's, I can pull up and I know at least 3 resellers that I know personally. They're there with a car full of shoes. And the way our mall is set up, there's nothing in there but shoe stores. So they have 5 pair of shoes from Hibbett's, 6 pair of shoes from Foot Locker, and their car is full of shoes, and everybody else is outside mad because they don't have shoes. But that's just the way of the world now. So when you go and you say, well, we don't have a culture because there's nothing but resellers, that's perfectly fine. You have to understand that they saw what you were building, what you were into, and what you were willing to do for it. Mm-hmm. The fact that now they're going to capitalize off of them, you really can't be mad at them for trying to build a business. You can dislike them all day, but you don't have to include them in what you consider to be your community or your culture, because that's how I feel about it. I understand that it's a community, and I understand that everybody is together or whatever, but when it comes down to, oh, well, you talking about the community, the culture? Yeah, but I don't consider the dude that I'm cool with, I know it's a reseller to be part of it, because I know he doesn't give a damn about shoes. He's just trying to make his money. And that's just the way it goes these days.
And they wear regular ass shoes. And the other side of it is, I've noticed something, because I used to work at Foot Locker. And granted, it was part-time because I was an adult and this was just there for the discount. I've noticed that a reseller, or if as an employee of Foot Locker, I made $8 something an hour. This is when we had commissions. They took commissions away. So when you take commissions away and say, oh yeah, you're just working for this $8 something an hour, you go, well shit, I might as well hook up the person that's going to put money in my pocket, because if I can get you this Jordan 1 that I know you can sell for $350 and you give me $60, you're giving me more than I'm making in 2 days. So that's part of the problem as well, because these employees aren't paid well. Now, I'm not acting like they're rocket scientists and they're doing a super important job, but it does get in the way when they're not making enough sometimes to afford the shoes that they're actually buying without the discount.
Okay, so basically, what we need to do, I think we just got a little hint tonight. So you said I need 2 phones for Hibbett and City Gear? Because I'm trying to win these shoes.
Car, you have 3 phones.
I was about to say, don't do this.
Let's not do this, Car. You know.
I need to know. Just let me know how I win these shoes because Hibbett and City Gear, I never hit. So
look, I've literally heard someone once told me that they know that they got mama, brother, and a sister that don't do anything with shoes. So what they did was had them sign up with all these different accounts and these phone numbers to verify these raffles in that one time. Once they did that, they got all the login information, put it on their phone. That way, when they got the notifications about who won the raffle, it came to their phone and not their mama, brother, and sister phone.
Okay. I mean, you can't knock the hustle. My goodness.
EG,
it's on you.
What's up? How y'all doing? I just want to start off by introducing myself real quick. My name's Elias, or y'all can call me E. But yeah, so like I've been in the sneaker game for relatively a long time, since I was in middle school. Even though I'm pretty young, I'm only 22. But I just have a question real quick. So I think I want to say it was my senior year of high school in 2018 or 2017. I'm not too sure which one it was. But, where was the reselling culture then? Because I remember going on StockX and seeing like shoes, shadows for example, going for 200 or 220. And it was happening for like a minute. Because I remember also my buddies would tell me like, oh, I see the retro Blue Storm ones on shelves, and I would always tell them it's a cool sneaker, but they would say, oh no, it's ugly, it's sitting on shelves. And then 3 years later, you see how much they're going for now. It's just like, where was the reselling culture back then? Like, what happened? Why were people reselling sneakers? Because I remember, like how I said, I was a sneakerhead since middle school. Like in middle school, they were reselling sneakers, but then like all of a sudden in 2018, I'm pretty sure it just like died down. And that's just the question I have. Like, where was it then?
Ooh, I think that it was around, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that it was there, but I don't think that it was as perverted as it is now. I think that reselling has been around for quite some time because even in 2018, shows were going on. A lot of sneakers were being sold, resold, all that kind of stuff. But somewhere along the line, and maybe y'all can help me with somewhere along the line, sellers realized that people will pay more and more and more money. Now, where it got to where it was to make maybe $100, $200, on a regular release to, charging, $8,000, $9,000 at this point. Now, that's a good question. I don't know, was it Last Dance or before? Like, where did that happen?
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. Just because, like I said, like in middle school, like I remember Shadows, like the original Shadows. I forgot what year they came out, 2013, I want to say, or the ones that were remastered. 2013s, like those were reselling for like quite a lot, right? And then, like how I said, in that year, 2018, like the 2016 Shadows came out, or I don't know which year it was, but those Shadows came out, and they were like literally no resale value. Like me and my buddy bought like 2 pairs for literally $200. And then I got a pair of what the KD5s for like $220 on StockX. Like it wasn't like, no Facebook group, no nothing. It was on StockX.
I would say Virgil Abloh happened, to be honest. Virgil happened, Off-White by Nike happened, the 10s happened, and people started to see value, or they started to act like they saw value, and they started to put money into things. Because for the longest, if it wasn't a collab, especially if it wasn't an Off-White collab, then we weren't seeing it. Not with the crazy retail price, at least.
That's a good point.
Julie, somebody in the chat said, I feel like the Netflix documentary brought a lot of the reselling and the price hike back.
So it did, but that wasn't until 2020, right? So maybe around that time.
Travis also brought a whole different demographic because of his music to sneakers. So when was his first collab? Because his demographic is huge. It's not just African American kids. It's the nutty, little not gangbanger, whatever it's called, mosh pitter. That the Rangers.
I think Virgil ushered it in, and then it kind of followed up with the Travis and the stuff like that, because you had the Chicago Off-Whites and then the UNC Off-White ones, and that's what everybody was. I remember watching the UNC regular ones go from being $89 resale in my size to being over $700 resale in my size within a year, and it was because of Off-White ones. So. And then after that, like I said, Travis and everybody dropped. So I think all of them contribute to it, but it definitely started, especially if we're talking 2018, it definitely started with the 10s.
That's a good point.
And I'd also like to add one thing about the botting business is going so big on our sneakers right now. And the botters, they artificially inflate prices. So I don't know if y'all was trying to get the Travises that night that they dropped, but you can literally watch as the prices go up. So, and I know because I know some people, they'll sell 6-7 shoes, make their profit enough to take the L, right, and buy one of their shoes off of their own stock. Take it from $700, $800 resale. Now it looks like somebody just offered $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. That's their stock. They're accepting their own bids at the outrageous prices. And now all of a sudden what happens is well, you as a person who wants it, you looking at it like, oh shit, well I guess that's just the price now. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And I mean, you can literally watch it happen the night of, where somebody went through and all of a sudden the price went from 700 to 1200 to 13, and now you reach in 2000s territory. And we talk about all the lows, and the lows had a lot more stock. A lot of people got a lot of access to them. I got access to them. I don't know how, but I got access to them shits. So that's one of the other things you got to consider is that the bots, they buy up so much stock, they will artificially inflate the prices by simply selling for enough profit to buy one of their own, accept a ridiculous bid, and then, you know, that's what the price is now. That's what they set it as, and that's what it's going to be from here on out until people stop wanting to buy them altogether.
I feel that. No, I like that. That's a good point. Botting is a whole other topic, man. I'm trying to get Tiana Porter in here to talk botting. I just want to make sure that nobody tries to act crazy when we get Tiana in here for the botting conversation, because she's one of the biggest beasts in the game when it comes to that. Legend, do you know where we are on microphones?
Of course I do.
My God.
All right. So what we're going to do, and I just want everybody kind of that have requested mics know that we're going to try to get through these hands, and then we got to move on to the next part because I know what a lot of people are here for. So I'm going to try to get through it. So in this order, we got eBay. We got, Nate was supposed to go next, but I think he went. So we got eBay. We got Horace. We got Hurt. And then we're going to finalize it with the queen herself, Big L.
Yo, what up, everybody? Happy New Year. So a couple things. Like, it's definitely a sneaker community. Just to get back to the original point, you know, I feel like a community is like a shared like story, shared background, shared history, shared language. So if I say DS in here, everybody know what that means. Everybody got a story about. But you got like communities within that community. So you got like a resale community, you got the Air Max community, you got the One community, you got like, you know, Nike basketball. Just in general. As far as the resellers go, you're not going to do anything to get rid of resellers, except the only thing Nike can do to get rid of resellers is make the price what the resellers get, and that's going to cut the middleman out. But I'm old enough to remember, if you're born in the 80s or early 90s, Christmas was just last week, a Tickle Me Elmo. And this is well before eBay and the internet and all that shit. And, you know, the price of them shits was skyrocketing around Christmas. And that was just off like newspaper ads, shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but you're not gonna really do anything about resellers, especially nowadays with the shared economy. And it's hard to really like get a career. Everybody can get a job, but something that gets you comfortable. You know what I mean? People out here Ubering and Uber Eats and DoorDash and all that shit. So like, you know, everybody's kind of hustling and doing entrepreneurial things to make money. And you know, the sneakers are just, you know, the biggest bang for the buck. So you're not really gonna do anything about resellers unless you like sell just up the price. But it's definitely a sneaker community. It's definitely, you know, even if you want to say it's perverted, everybody's still on the same page as far as like the language, the history, you know what I mean? Just the lexicon all together for sneakers for real. And that was it. Happy New Year.
No, that's real.
Happy New Year, good brother.
That's real. Yeah, definitely. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. No, well said. Well said. Well said.
Horace, it's on you, bro.
Nice suit, by the way, Horace.
Yeah, thank you. Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I think what happened to the sneaker community, because I was there in the beginning where like people were just thinking like 20 pairs of sneakers was crazy, and this was like back in high school, and I'm from New York. So when we used to wait online, there's only one spot you could go to in all of New York City that will open up at midnight. That's 34th Street. Everybody used to camp out
And then you used to look at the line. Let's just say you're a 30 person online. You're looking at everyone's foot. You're like, he's a size 9. I'm good. I'm a 10.5. I'm gonna go down. You're counting. You're like, okay, there might be like 6, 7 people ahead of me. As long as they got like 10 pairs, I'm good. But then slowly, you started noticing like these small shops from like Fulton Street, from the Bronx. Like the owners will come down at midnight. They'll end up bringing like a whole bunch of their friends that they just cop whatever size. They didn't care. They'll just cop whatever size, and then they'll flip it the next day at their own shop. And then slowly, I think it just became more and more acceptable. Because back in the day, when people was reselling, it was like frowned upon. Like nobody wanted to say like they're a reseller. Like the whole complex thing when they come out and they go, "Oh, have you resold shoes?" Like in New York back then, like long time ago, if you ever came out as you was a reseller, like you was hated. No sneaker would mess with you. Like no one was messing with you like that. But nowadays, I think like the whole Kai situation, I think he's the one that actually like, because he made like hype beast cool for like the younger generation. So I think when he did that, it brought like a whole group of eyes into the sneaker community, and then they were looking at it like resale value, because everything Kais used to put on is hype, right? Like he'll have like $3,000 outfits. And he has the those Kobe 8s that they're going for like a crazy amount right now. But I think it's just slowly we let the resellers.
I do remember when Barney's had
Yeezys. Now it's just like uncontrollable. But that's my 2 cents on it.
No, that's real. And again, you know, we probably won't get to it tonight, but that'll probably be a great conversation after ladies' night, is to talk about influencers, to talk about your Kais Omars, and to talk about those types of people. Which, by the way, I don't like Kais. Like, just so y'all know.
Okay, I'm glad somebody said it, because I was like, if you start that conversation, I'm gonna be rude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kais.
Me either.
But that Kais and I had words, and Kais came at me on Twitter a while ago, if y'all remember that.
And then deleted all his tweets like a little bit.
And we jumped him. We came at him.
Sorry.
I love y'all.
Deleted all of those tweets real quick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're not talking about that.
No, you could, but I think that the influencer conversation and the contribution of people like that mixed in with the resale game really had an impact and really started perverting the culture. So points very well made. I really appreciate that input, man, for real. Who we got, Legend?
We got Hurt, and then we're gonna let the Diamond Princess herself, because she just came in with all of the sharp blades. We're gonna let Jaleesa close us out.
Cool.
Well, get us to the next part, I should say. Excuse me.
Cool.
Hey, Happy New Year's, everybody. Yeah, I wanted to touch on a couple of things. Like I'm in Birmingham. I'm also in Alabama, and I wanted to talk about
Roll Tide.
I'm actually a Gators fan, so
wow. Hey, you want to get kicked off the stage? Nah, go ahead.
No, but like, you know, I know what you were talking about, like the shoe stores here, because, you know, when they first was coming up, it was like a whole love thing, you know, you meet the people that run them, but, you know, they quickly turned into just how everything else turned, because, like, you know, I was cool with, like, people that had sneaker shops in Auburn, you know, like, tons of these smaller cities, but it just quickly turned into, like, when the pandemic happened, it just seemed like investors was looking for anything to get into. Like, that's what somebody had told me, and it just changed my mindset. Like, investors just wanted to get in so, you know, they can take it, resell it, and that what really drove up the price. Because I also wanted to talk about the whole City Gear thing, because I work there too, and I definitely seen my manager backdoor to, like, you know, the dude just coming in that she knew would dap up, and, you know, they would give her like $300-400, and she, you know, she would tell everybody, you know, hey, put them in the back of the office, you know, nobody gonna touch them. And, you know, one shoe that really kind of showed me that the investors are crazy, because one thing that they definitely do is, you know, sit on these bricks and just wait for them. Because I remember when the Black Cats came out, and I just kind of thought it's crazy for $225 for an all black shoe. I just remember they were too high of a price, and I just wasn't gonna pay that. So I was just waiting for them to discount and get them. But I remember seeing them the other day. They're $700-800. and they literally sat for like 3 or 4 months. I don't know. I think that was getting to the problem of like them sitting on shoes. Kind of lost my point, but I think one thing that we can do that might help us is definitely getting like all your friends and everybody that you know is in the sneaker game and the sneaker community that actually cares about it, is actually getting to the influencers, telling them, you know, who to start watching, who to follow. And then that's the people that can get into like these boardrooms that, you know, Hibbies, like Nike want to meet with, and we can actually get some voices in there that's going to change it for the good.
I do agree with that as well. You know, having the people on the inside really is beneficial, for sure. So I appreciate that, Herc, for real, my guy. And love to Alabama. You know, ain't too many of us down here, so I appreciate that.
Nah, for real. Like, hey, I was just looking to join one of those $30 communities.
I'm glad that you did, my brother. Listen, you gonna get it. You gonna get just what you need. Following people that's up in this room and for no money. So yeah. Jaleesa, what's going on? And then I see John. We brought John up too, but let's go to Jaleesa, and then we're gonna go to John.
Okay, so I think, well, first of all, number one, I'd like everybody to stop acting like I'm a big bad wolf when I come into the room and grab a mic, because I'm not. I only weigh 120. Like, calm down, kids. I can't do anything.
So little bad wolf then.
But your voice is Mark Henry. You scaring the shit out of niggas. Like, come on now.
Fine, but you could flick me like a flea. So everybody, that's all I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am. We will do whatever you ask because we don't want no smoke.
Fair enough. Anything else, ma'am?
Okay, so my thoughts on if sneaker culture is dead or not. I think that, again, like I just said, everybody just needs to relax a little bit, because we keep changing what sneaker culture is and altering it and opening the door and opening the gate, and we don't need to. Like, it's like, you know how everybody in the YMCA plays on the basketball team, right? And there's going to be at least 7 kids on that team that absolutely suck, but their mom and dad paid the $500 to make sure that they're on that team, so they're going to get the trophy to say that they're on that team. Those kids aren't going to love basketball when they're 38 years old. They just played on that team because mom and dad paid that $500. The culture comes in from the people that love shoes. They love the craft of it. They love, you know, how you have to get it. They love Jordan. They love Adidas. They love Nike and all this stuff. It doesn't come from the people that are coming in just to buy it and make us pay more for it because they see that there's an open window there. And I think a lot of us forget that a lot of this shit came during the pandemic when everybody was finding something to collect. First, everybody was a planter, then everybody was an air fryer cook, and then everybody was a pastry chef, and then everybody was into sneakers. And everybody was like, hey, you know, my friend, tell me how I can get into sneakers. And there's a whole lot of people now that have a wide range collection, but it starts in 2019. And it doesn't start in 2019 because, oh, I sold my collection and I started over. No, it starts because you were stuck in the house and you had a bag and then you got into it. And so sometimes when we have these conversations about gatekeeping, we need to close the fucking gates, because it is what it is. We wouldn't even be having this conversation in a room full of actual sneakerheads only. In a room full of people that understood, like somebody said earlier, back in the day, we hated resellers. We was looking down on those niggas. There's a whole blog, and there's no shade to them. I follow them, and I love some of their stuff. But there's a blog called Hype Beast and a blog called Hype Bay. He did not want to be called Hype Beast or Hype nothing back in the day. Like, when I worked at Zoom, he used to roast me for walking to my store and being Hype Beast. Don't come asking me for Nikki Diamonds nothing, because you don't know shit about shoes or about fashion, so we're not doing it. Nowadays, it's like, ooh, did you see the post on Hype Beast? And it's, you know, we're comfortable with it now, but those are the things that we got to talk about when we talk about, damn, is sneaker culture dead? Because what happened to not liking Hypebeast to the point to where everybody wants the Travis Scott Jordan 1 low right now? And I'm included in that.
So would you consider yourself a gatekeeper? Because by telling people to come into kids walking into the store, and you'd be like, you don't even know shit about Nikki Diamonds. Why are you trying to buy Diamond Supply? That's what we call gatekeepers. And I'm not even saying like there's a right or wrong answer, it's good or bad, but like, what is your thought about people who are like, nah, it's not certified? Like, what, like,
yeah, to a certain extent, yes, because I think that you got to earn your stripes. Like, there's a lot of skateboarding stuff I can't speak on and that I couldn't speak on because I just didn't know about it. I had to work in skateboarding some years. I had to skateboard. I had to learn some stuff to call myself a skateboarding fan or an enthusiast and be knowledgeable about that. So it's not like kids literally walk in my store and be like, hey, where them Nikki Diamond dunks at? And I'm like, nah, you can't get those. But like, you know, we're having a conversation. We're
Maybe
talking about stuff. Or everybody on this stage has experienced this. You walked into a Foot Locker. You got on some Jordans that's come out at least 5-7 years ago. And the kid in Foot Locker is like, oh, yeah, them ones that come out next week. And you're like, no, absolutely not. Like, they're not coming out anytime soon. Those are the times where we keep or we need to be giving niggas some lessons because you shouldn't be walking up to me arguing with me about if I have on taxis or if I have on royalty 12s if you know what you're talking about versus just being, nah, sneakers is kind of cool. It's a difference between sneakers is kind of cool and I'm a sneakerhead.
Yeah, so don't put the title on yourself unless you're prepared to have the conversation and to be vetted, you know, to carry that title is kind of what you're saying.
Right. Like, I don't know shit about whiskey, so I'm not going to call myself a whiskey connoisseur, you know?
Okay. I mean, and we got to respect it. You know, we respect it on all sides over here, so I respect it.
Hey, Card.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I just remember what I was going with that. I just wanted to say, yeah, I think that was the difference when she said earlier about resellers. Like, when I first got into sneakers, I was like 15 in high school. They really had that money, no money. But I mean, I wanted to be a reseller just because I wanted to work in something I loved. I think that's the difference with a lot of these resellers now. You have to see the ones that actually love the game, love the shoes and stuff like that, and the ones that's in it for the money, you know. I mean, it's good money, but I mean, at the same time, like, you know, why did you get into this if you have no passion? You know, I think that's a culture vulture right there.
Yeah, and I agree with that. You know, I mean, it's different. People do it for different reasons, you know, so I definitely respect it. Nothing wrong with that at all, for sure. So I respect that.
Yeah, I meant to like the ones for money and stuff. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, there's people that have selfish intention behind it, you know, and don't try to help people. So I'm right there with I'm rocking with you all. I appreciate that for real. John, what's going on, my brother?
Yo. So, you know, it's in me to play devil's advocate and all this shit. So, you know, I don't think sneaker culture is essentially dead. I just think that, you know, Kanye said everything I'm not made everything I am. And I kind of live by that. The things that I am are partly because of the things that I'm not. So the things that you love about the sneaker game are only you love them because of the things that you hate. There's a duality to everything. So the sneaker game, the things that you hate builds on the things that you love. Hype has allowed Nike and Jordan to collab with a person like Travis Scott. It has allowed them to originally, Adidas as well, to collab with Kanye West. It has allowed, you know, double, triple collaborations on shoes like, you know, Sacai and Clot and, you know, whatever else. So, you know, the hype does fuel some things. When you remove the hype, you remove the amount of shoes that are able to be sold. You remove the money for collaborations. You remove a lot of things by removing hype. So as much as you kind of hate the hype, you kind of hate the way that the game is, there's still a removal. As much as I love the camp out line because I'm always good with the people in the front of the line and could move around in that camp out line, there was 30 to 40 people at the end that could never get their hands on a pair of shoes. So although I would love to say, man, I wish we could go back to lining up and chopping it up in the street and talking, you marginalize 40 to 50 people at the end of that line who don't get a pair and are afraid of the niggas in the front of the line who are getting the pairs. So as much as we can say that we hate something, as much as like, and I look at it same with rap music. As much as I hate mumble rap and all that shit, that has also mumble rap is a part of the reason why hip hop is the number one genre on the planet. So you can't take the good with bad with everything. I think when you look at it, the further you move away from the essence of where sneaker came from, which is the hood, the more and more we're going to start to see things that we don't like, and corporations jumping in and things like that. But the more we move away from it, the more access comes, the more it feels like we don't have access. But the more access comes, the more collaborations come, the more people trying to figure out how to create more pairs, how to create certain things and feed a demand. So I think that it's a beast that we love and that we hate. So we're just gonna have to deal with all of it. And for many of us, especially people like Kari, people like myself, stylists, things like that, who got in this, have a career based on the sneaker game, when you start to siphon away the things that you don't like in that hype, you start to remove the food that people eat. So if there's no hype behind certain shoes, do people want to listen to Kari talk about this 12 shoes a year that are easily accessible, or do they want to see him show off a shoe that maybe no one has been able to get their hands on? He's one of 5 or 6 people that has it early. So you gotta take the good with the bad. What I will say, and looking at that poster that showed all the Jordans that came out this year, and all the Yeezys that have dropped, there has been an influx of shoes that you might not get to Travis Scott, but you're going to be able to get a decent pair of shoe at some time throughout the year. At least one decent shoe. Somehow, I hope, I pray.
Negative.
I pray. Everybody think that you were able to get. And you might not get the hype shoe, but there was a lot of shoes that dropped that still looked good. Like you were at least able to get something that looks good throughout the year, and it all comes from that hype. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
I love how you said that. I have to piggyback just real quick because, to your point, right? Because of all this hype and because of what we've seen around the major drops, which, by the way, right, at their core, were never intended for the general public, right? Like we have an entitlement in sneaker culture that we're like, I deserve the Travis Scott. Like these are special limited edition sneakers that are never intended for everybody to get their hands on. But there are Mocha 1s and Lightning 4s and all the what's this for 2022? The muslin 3s coming. There's all these other shoes that we call them the poor man such and so, which I've never seen a fucking sneaker for $200 for a poor man to be able to afford. But we have these poor man variations of all these other sneakers because that to me is the brand saying, go forth and be great, right? Without having to go the Walmart route and, the kids being clowned, like, for wearing Shaq shoes. Like, you can have a real Nike, a real Jordan that looks fly, and no, it's not the Travis Scott, but damn it, them mochas are fly as hell. In some instances, flyer than the Travis Scott OG.
They are.
Right?
They are.
You know what I mean?
Be called poor man's, though, right? Because back in the day, hype shoes literally weren't accessible by us. Like in 2003, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 wouldn't be able to be in the hands of normal people unless you knew people. We'd see it on Fat Joe, we'd see it on Fabulous, we'd see it on Ja Rule, and be on TV like, damn, what shoe is that? And then we'd be reaching back in 2010 for a retro of it. So that is why the Travis Scott, like Mocha 1 would technically be the poor man Travis Scott 1, because none of us really supposed to have a shoe. That's supposed to be for the celebrities and the niggas with money and stuff. But they struggling like we are now. And I think that's the weird flip of the game.
That's 100% true. I just want to say, I used to camp out for 12 hours for certain shoes and not get my hands on them. I know for a fact, niggas would rather take an L on sneakers than to spend the night outside at a store in the rain, which I've done several times, and not get a shoe. It broke my heart to not get the Aunt Pearl 4s. So much so that I could have got the Cavs 4s. I was so pissed after spending the night. I just left it. Cavs 4s are highly slept on. I literally just left the Cavs 4s there. So I'm telling you, a lot of people can bitch, moan, and complain, but I'm telling you, if you had to stand in line overnight or know a manager, get nothing. Mm-hmm.
No, that's facts. That's 100% facts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, things are different these days. Like there's things I hear out here and they just boggle my mind because I'm like, I don't know where the hell we got to with this, but to Jaleesa's point. But I think that's what happened with the democratization of sneakers, right? The StockX's and the GOATs had niggas going broke. Looked like the Fed was in the offsets.
Did you just say democratization? I'm a little. It took me a minute.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. The democratization.
He on his Stephen A. Smith stuff tonight. Like he been on fire. Sis, you missed it earlier.
People that aren't. I'm intelligent, but use words everybody else can understand. Chill out.
Access.
Like brokies, and y'all don't know how to dress. Ain't that right, Jaleesa? I'm with you. I'm on your side tonight, sis. Me and you.
Exactly. We keep it simple and to the point.
I will be sure to keep it simple and to the point. But well said, John. Well said. Nate got his hand up. Nate, did you have any?
No. I'm gonna mute him.
Hey, hold on, man. You can't do that to me. Stop playing with me. First of all, I just want to take credit for Big L, Jaleesa. I call you Big L in the chat. If it's offensive, you just let me know. But I call you Big L. And that's it. And then I'm so thankful for you for putting that nigga Jay in the coffin tonight.
100%.
So wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you. I told him to go ahead and get his Sunday best, and he need to take his bottle of liquor with him, close the casket, and sit his ass on the ground. I'm so happy that you did that for him tonight. I just wanted to say that I appreciate you, and I'll be listening to you on Monday.
Hold on. Hey, Nate, what's happening on Monday?
Oh, that's Ladies' Night, man.
Where?
Ladies' Night Takeover.
Oh, in here?
In here.
Oh, bet.
Size on Twitter. Ladies taking over, man.
That's big. That sounds big. I'm not going to front.
Real big. Almost as big as this raffle card. Almost as big as this raffle.
Almost as big as this raffle. You know what? Go ahead. Get into the raffle.
I like that. Nice transition.
Are we ready to? Okay, I like that. Are we ready to get into the raffle? You know what? Let's get into a raffle. Let's give away a pair of Off-Whites right now. Let's get into it, man. So, all right. Here's how we doing it. The moment that you all have been waiting for this evening. Small speech while I'm getting this thing set up. So, first of all, thank you all, right, for rocking with myself, with Nate, with the crew, with Chef, with my boy, with Legend, with Jordan, with all of our crazy asses, Jaleesa, everybody. Thank you all for rocking with us and for growing this thing with us. I put one of those paragraph ass posts up on Instagram, but I'm gonna keep it real short in here. We got a lot of shit planned for 2022, and a lot of shit planned. So, my hope, number one, is that you guys continue to rock with all of us, because my big thing, and my guys will tell you, my sisters will tell y'all the same thing, right? Like, I'm just what my brother John calls a vessel, right? I'm just here, to talk my shit, and then to make sure that everybody else has a voice out here as well, right? So with that, as everybody has their voice and they grow in their platform, we all have some hot shit that's coming up soon. But one thing I want to let you guys know is that we are talking Twitter about a community. I'm not going to speak too much about it. And this is not a dig on any other community. You can be a member of two communities on Twitter, right? I want to make sure that's clear. You don't have to pick and choose what you want to do. However, we are working on something for everybody in here, and we're working on more giveaways, more raffles, right? The reason I'm able to do this for everybody is because of the support that you guys are doing for me, right? When I come in, if I get paid for doing something, that money goes right back out to a giveaway on a pair of sneakers, right back for y'all, right? Like, that's my thank you back to you guys, for doing what you do. So I'm not going to get too long-winded on that. I'm going to set this up. So if you guys are not following, Legend got his hand up. Okay, what you got?
I was just about to say, if you there's going to be people who always have something to say about what you're about to do. If you want to see the live drawing, which I think Kari was about to get into, if you go to the top of our Twitter Spaces, there's a link. It's actually on my YouTube channel. You can click and watch live. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no as somebody said, backdooring. There's none of that going on here, because a lot of people like to say, well, what if? If one of us wins, it's because we won. And I'm not saying that to preface. I'm just saying Kari does things by the book, even when we try to get him not to. So I wanted y'all to know that the link is actually in what we call the Jumbotron. If you want to click in and watch it right now, I'll give y'all a couple seconds to do so.
Yeah, we're also going to put in for them shoes, because them Off-White shoes I killed for the past 6 months, so I didn't try.
And so the Beetlejuice came in. Beetlejuice Q came in to remind you earlier, Kari. I don't know if you saw it, but he hated those as well.
Damn. Okay. So those are two people y'all do not have to worry about going for this. There you go. So we're sharing the screen now. Legend Nate, can y'all see the screen? Oh shit. Okay, wait a minute. That's a lot going on. Wait a second. Okay, can y'all see it now?
Here we go.
Yeah. We all good.
Okay, you good. All right.
I already picked the winner when he had 8,000 followers, but you didn't hear it from me.
Wait, you said All right. Wait, I want to make sure this is the right person. Make sure, because you might be capping. You gotta make sure this is the right person. So
I need we need your blood type, mama's maiden name, and
You so silly. Social Security. I think this is him. This is him. Okay, yeah, this is him. We good. So congratulations. So that person is actually JS Fiend 23. Congratulations to you, my guy. Wow, you won a pair of Off-White Air Jordan 2s, and you got the Travis 1 lows in your Avi. That's kind of wild, but congratulations. That's crazy. So
I want that man's luck.
That's a hell of a way to start the new year. That's a hell of a way to start the new year.
Giveaway because I didn't enter because I'm your partner, but I feel the type of way. So like, how we get a partners only or something?
Hey, Jaleese, I'm with you, yo. Like
we want the same thing, Jaleese. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on the Bat Channel. We'll talk about that on the Bat Channel. I got you.
Heads on both sides. I call heads. Legend gets tails.
I mean, that's fair. That's supremely fair. I do want to take a quick. I do want to shout out everybody that took some time to come into the live chat. We thoroughly appreciate you. I had Nate, I had Jordan, most of the live show. I appreciate everybody in the comments. Y'all have been hilarious. Jerome has been on fire. Bree, Juan, as always. I got Shakira in here, so I just want to thank everybody. We will be back in the live chat on Monday. Carl will tell you what that looks like very, very soon and who's coming in the building.
Okay, yeah, I got you. The winner is actually in the room right now, so we're gonna let Josh come on up so all of y'all can bully him real quick. Josh, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you. Congratulations.
Kari, hey, appreciate it, man. I've been following you for a while. I really appreciate this, guys.
Love.
Josh, what size are you?
I'm an 11.
Okay.
Oh my God, we hear that shit.
Not a 9.
That sounds like my size.
Let the hating begin.
Hey, I want to say congratulations. I never wanted the shoes. I'm happy for you, my man. Keep it going. Good job.
Well, so I gotta say, man, this is like the first like raffle or anything like that I've actually won. I enter this kind of stuff all the time because I'm a sneakerhead just like everybody else, right? And so this is absolutely amazing. I appreciate it, guys.
Oh yeah, no, we appreciate you, man. Thank you. This is for you. This is for y'all, and we appreciate you, man. Be sure to shoot me over your shipping address, and you're gonna have a pair on the way, man. Size 11, your size.
Hey, thanks again, man. Again, really appreciate it, and I love the content and everything. So help me in. I'm gonna be here every day.
That's love, brother. Show up, pull up on us. You see how we do. We get crazy in here. So now I can't listen. On behalf of everybody, your DMs might be in shambles. I apologize for that because you beat 11,000 people for a pair of sneakers tonight. So,
bro, when I heard my name, I was like, I can't believe that. Especially with that number you threw out, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now forget all the 11,000 people.
I gotta go play the lotto or something.
You beat my 17 entries. Forget all 11,000. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Josh.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Pull one out for Armando, man. We gotta pull one out for
Armando and one other person. Who?
Yeah, why just Armando?
Pull one out. I was number 3, so I'm glad those guys didn't tune in tonight.
I know that's real. Listen, you stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, man, for real. So, yeah, congrats again, man. Looking forward to sending them to you, man. It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Truly appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. All right. So, to wind, we're going to start winding this bad boy down. I did bring Wilson up, the one and only one. Do you want to speak real quick? Or?
Yeah, real quick one. Y'all should show the Gucci fetish shirt when you get a chance, so everybody can see that. That's one thing, but also real quick, thank you, Carter, for letting me do this. I just threw some restocks up on my website.
Wait, what?
I wanted to give everybody in this space the chance to go to the website first.
Wait, hold on. Don't tell them that.
Listen, the gifts keep on giving tonight. We're not done. Juan, let them know.
Juan, why you even DM me that first?
It's very, very limited. There's probably like 3 or 4 sizes in each shirt, maybe. So just head to the website. I'll get them shipped off tomorrow. So I just wanted to let this group know first before I let the rest of the Twitter world know, because this is a dope space.
Hey, Juan, I don't know if you can see me. I'm on my phone right now getting to your stage.
hey, I can see you right now. Yo, that's love.
You get up to 200 people. It ain't like it's like 10 of us in here. I mean, it's 4 of each shirt. It's 200 people, bro.
Facts. A lot of people in here. Hey, thank y'all. We actually got over 320 people in here at one point, which is insane. So thank you, everybody that pulled up and showed up. Y'all be sure to shop Juan Wilson's website right now. Go and grab some shirts because, listen, if you know that the shit sell out ASAP as soon as he puts the tweet out there. So y'all know how it goes if you know Juan Wilson's joining. Be on the lookout for that Gucci Fetish coming soon. Sample size X Juan Wilson collabo on the way.
Juan, please make that shirt for real, please.
Hey, buzz up if y'all want to see that shirt. Y'all want to see that collab with Juan Wilson. I feel like that's a long time in the making, Juan, for real. We should have been doing something. I feel.
And yeah, hey, like that Gucci Fetish shirt, yeah, I like that. We could for real do that one. But no, like, yeah, we need to for real do one.
Design's already on the timeline, Juan.
Oh boy.
Wait, who said I? Oh, okay.
No, legend. What's up? And then I'll make my last little announcement.
Oh no, you make your last announcement. I'll close out. We get out of here.
Got you. Okay, so listen. So here's the deal. If y'all want to hear my voice again tomorrow, so tomorrow I am doing another Twitter space with Kanika Tolliver. If you're not familiar with Kanika actually does some really dope spaces that center around tech. And so she does some things in the tech space. She brings usually a couple thousand people to her space. It gets wild in there. She's doing a space that kind of combines tech with speakers. It's going to be myself. It's going to be a few other really dope people on that panel. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, I believe that's at 12 o'clock my time. So 12 o'clock Central. That's going to be 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to pull up or if you see me glowing on the timeline, pull up and say what's up on the kid. We're going to be chopping it up in there, talking sneakers. But again, Monday, right? If y'all don't want to pop in and listen to me talk kicks or come up and talk kicks tomorrow, that's fine. Monday, I need y'all asses in the building, okay? I need y'all in there to support and show up for the women in the space because without the women, the men ain't shit. I say this all the time. The women flex on us way harder. And the women's listen, with the fits, the women kick our asses in fits every day. I'm just going to
every day.
Can I get an amen?
Respectfully. Listen, respectfully. So listen, ladies' night, again, we got I'm Simply B, right? This is something that was just published in Sneaker Freaker magazine. You've seen her on mad campaigns. Big damn deal. We got Ashley Hall. Ashley Hall gets seeded from everybody from Nike New York to L'Oreal Cosmetics. She's huge in the game. We got Marissa. We were on live last night. We know her as the hype model, or you know her as Marissa Hill. She's doing deals with Jimmy Jazz, with Nike, with Adidas flew her out to ComplexCon. Big fucking deal. We got Jaleesa. Y'all heard how Jaleesa gets down, all right? She kicks the door in when she comes into the building.
Daily.
You know, we got her on the panel tomorrow night. We got Key. Listen, I don't know nobody that's got a deeper collection and better fits than Key. Listen, like, y'all know I'm not lying about that, right? Like, come on. If somebody can pull out an old school pair of Jordan 20s, it's going to be Key. It's insane. Knowledge is crazy. We got Takara Devon that's going to be in the building. Takara had a fucking McDonald's deal last year. It's insane. She's got campaigns out the ass right now. So listen, we got her. And then we got Tiana Denise, who she's a singer. She actually is, if you ever heard of West Side Gun, she's on West Side Gun's project. She's a big damn deal. She's out of Atlanta. And she actually did Small Town Sneakerhead with Nice Kicks and Hibbett Sports as well. Like, this is, listen, can y'all please back me up on how big of a deal this is to have all these women on one stage?
I mean, this has never been done before. If we're keeping it above, this is groundbreaking.
Listen, please don't get me started. I get hyped when I talk about the women because the women really don't get to shine and they get gate-kept out of so much shit out here. And
yeah, we're going to speak about all of that. I'm sorry because, you know, we're going to speak about, you know what, let me not. We'll speak about it on Monday.
We'll speak about it on Monday. But, you know, I wanted to, you know, sample size. You know, me and my guys, we talk shit. Of course, we got the ladies up here, but I wanted the ladies to have their moment and to really talk about what matters the most to them and to make sure that their voices are heard very loud. Listen, we love women in this community. community. We respect women. We uphold women in this community, right? Without y'all, there is no us. It's just a bunch of guys talking to one another. That's it.
You left one out, Kari.
What's up?
We protect women.
Talk about it.
We do this thing where people come here and get to talking crazy. You saw how the other day when we thought somebody was talking crazy to us and the women came with the guns blazing, like, hold on, watch your mouth. We do the same thing for them. And of course, that was Big L. But she came in kicking the door, like, watch your mouth, watch you talking to. We do the same thing for them. There will be no disrespect. And that's just the bottom line on that one.
Let them know. And we will definitely set those house rules as well before we get going with that. But so y'all please show that. It's a big deal. I want everybody in the building for that. That's all that I got for tonight. Did anybody on the stage, Legend, Jordan, anybody got any last thoughts?
Jordan, you got anything?
On Monday, when y'all come in here, I want y'all to come in here with some sense in front of my new friends. Don't embarrass me and Key. Don't act like wow. I gotta be somewhere because these women that don't usually be in here. We want to be hospitable friends. That's all I wanted to say. But nah, for real, come join us Monday. Let's talk. Let's have fun. Do all that good stuff. I had something else to say, but I forgot. So
that's fair. That's all
I
right.
want to say something. I don't know what's been going on with my Twitter. So Twitter Spaces, please stop kicking me out, especially on Monday, because I have a lot of stuff I got to get off my chest. So.
I will make sure that I'll speak to my Twitter partner and make sure that they look out for your account. I'm actually inviting some people from Twitter. We got Risha here, of course. Risha is with Twitter.
What up, Risha?
We're gonna try to get Twitter Spaces in here as well. So yeah, no doubt on that. John, what's good, bro?
So I just want to give everybody a heads up. Me and actually Takar are kind of running like a dry January. We're not buying sneaks. Not asking anybody else to do that, but we're not buying sneaks and actually looking to give the price of a pair of sneaks to a charity of choice. So pair of Jordans $190. We'll round it up to $200 and give it to a charity of our choice, just to start the year off giving, so that we continue to be blessed throughout the year. So just wanted to throw that in there. But great space, Kari. Also, Jordan, fuck the Eagles. I hope you motherfuckers lose this week.
What?
Lose out the playoffs. And
what just happened? My God, sheesh. The hate. Well, let me say this. Fuck y'all too. Then.
What is happening? I ain't gonna lie. They with Washington. You might want to watch your mouth.
Okay.
That's a whole other space right there. That's a whole other.
Wow. Hey, Nate.
On that note, look like that. Shake put his hand up.
Go ahead, Shake.
What time is the women's thing kicking off?
Same time, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, and 5 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay, and then Kari, you got some business, man. You supposed to finish it up yesterday, my brother.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's on the way. It's on the way. I got it.
And lastly, to John, man, anybody, I'm just gonna leave it right there. Anybody can lose, man. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Thank you, Shake. Thank you, Shake. Thank you. I can't wait.
OG, I hope you respect that 43 LeBron drop, that age 37. Let's not forget.
How do we
my
get
man?
here?
My man, I'm talking about something. But I ain't even know the old fellas right now. I'm talking about the other old fella, the one y'all keep giving all the credit to.
Hey, is anybody paying attention to Shake? Sounds just like Master P.
Oh shit.
Bro, I'm sitting here like, wait a minute.
Hey Juan, I was wondering if you was gonna say. Okay, you know what? To close out, as always, because I'm not feeding into y'all no more tonight. To comment on one thing for the ladies' night. When she said, "Let's come in here, act like y'all got some sense." The sense is don't say nothing. Y'all don't want that smoke.
Damn word.
Just
not a damn word.
Don't, unless they ask you a question, just kind of let that happen. Jalisa, I'm about to mute you. Don't start.
No, I'm saying no. Talk like
I'm joking. They know I'm joking.
We like to talk because sometimes but y'all can talk. Y'all should come in and be here the same way y'all are in here today. And
Facts. But as always, wear your masks. This isn't over. Protect yourself, protect your brother, protect your sister, protect your family, and we out.
That's it, man. Thank y'all so much for showing up tonight, man, for Sample Size. We will see y'all on Monday. Good night.
Back to Cowboys.